Right, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all on frequency. This is Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India with the worldwide net on a Sunday, normally starting at 1300 UTC. I hope the audio is okay. I hope the signal's okay. Right, it sounds like that. We just wish to welcome everyone on frequency, and of course we wish to thank the British Amateur Television Club, the AMSAT DL and AMSAT UK, and of course the Qatar Satellite Company for allowing us an opportunity on their wonderful satellite. Yeah, the BATC Club is something one should join. I see they've got new tuners in, and we got a new South African member in, I think, last week, so his tuner's on its way. Anyway, today on frequency we have a number of guys. We have Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray, Benno, with a visitor. I think I know who it is. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. We have Tom, ZR6 Tango Golf. Hopefully he'll do that 3D type animation thing. Then we've got Ed, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November, and he'll show us the Falcon 9 re-entry as captured in Brazil. Then we've got Bert, Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta, who will then pass it to Martin, Golf 4 Fox Kilo Kilo. Martin, if you would mind passing it to Leon, ZS1 Mike, who's going to discuss and show a quick video on TUBSAT, T-U-B-S-A-T. It's a German, but a German satellite, shall we say, yeah, network. But I'll leave it to Leon to explain in greater detail. I think it should be quite interesting. See, I've got a bit of packet loss on the streaming. Anyway, and then we're going to be joined by Balu, VU2 Radio Tango Foxtrot, to be then followed by Nick, Golf 4 Mike, India Mike Oscar, of course, and then Henry, ZS6 Mike Charlie. I just want to see if there's anyone else. Nick, yeah, he was on, and that is about it. So I shall immediately pass it over to Benno with our esteemed visitor in the shack. So will you please take it, Benno? Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray from Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India.
Turn down my noise a little bit. Good afternoon from Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-Ray. See if I have a camera. Apparently my camera is not working. So I switch on this one, which is my friend who attend me today, who just arrived after lunch here in the Netherlands, and he wants to also to attend the net. Frank, take it.
Yes, good day everybody. I finally made it. Which camera is it so I can... over there. Yeah, okay. So yeah, took a drive from Haarlem through a fairly flat landscape, but it's a nice day today and I'm glad to be here. So back to you.
Yeah, well, again, the weather here is quite cold for the time of year.
Cold but nice.
Yeah, it's dry and a little bit cloudy, so not too much sun, but we have basically a perfect day for a Sunday afternoon. Good thing to test and to play around and to do a nice walk outside in the countryside. Okay, well, basically that's all I prepared. Was quite busy over the last few weeks, but that's more a private matter. Not too much ham stuff and yesterday it took me half a day to clean up my shack, which is still a mess, but I have high company, so it needs to be cleaned up. That was a good reason to get Franco here on board today. Okay, well, that's all for me today. Mic on to Tom, I believe, the Zulu Sierra 6 Tango Golf. Tom, take it away from Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-Ray.
There we go. Thank you there, Benno. Papa Alpha 3 FBX here from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf. And good to see your guest there, Frank. Hope you're doing well as well. And yeah, you guys will notice looking a bit different. So I've been experimenting a bit with the virtual reality and linking it up to OBS. And yeah, this is the end result. The avatar does not quite look like me. It actually looks a bit feminine as well, but I'm still working on that. And yeah, the whole goal of this is to basically start doing some virtual ham radio experiments, and then also be able to have a way to show it off. So yeah, I can now jump into virtual reality, and it's linked to OBS. I've got a little webcam in front of me, and I can actually move it around. Show you guys my little pad here. Like I say, nothing impressive yet. The screens you see, or the blocks you see there, is essentially my computer screens. So it looks like it stopped, or it blanks it out for privacy, I'm assuming. But what I see when I look at these blocks is essentially my two computer monitors in front of me. And yeah, no, it's a neat little trick. It doesn't pertain too much to amateur radio as yet. But yeah, there's some, well, we'll see how it goes. You can see it's got the live stuff and everything. So the idea is to create a little virtual ham shack, have everything inside the virtual ham shack. Imagine a giant waterfall of the radio and the bands, you know, satellite feeds, or even a little globe floating in the air, and showing you know, satellites coming past and that with the satellite project. So lots of possibilities. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Just wanted to to show it a bit off. And yeah, so otherwise not much on my side. I spent the week in Durban, and yeah, it was a successful trip. No problems there whatsoever. I did manage to, the last couple of days, to play around a bit with my satellite software, so I can show you a bit of that. Let's just move it to the computer display. So you guys remember the satellite server part itself, where I was tracking, it would track the satellites, and it had the rotator access and all the information around that. I've now actually added the radio side of it as well. It pulls in the transceivers from the SatNox database for the different satellites that you've got loaded. So you can actually see it at the moment. We've got the Fox 1B satellite selected, and you can actually choose the different transponders that's on there, and then it will automatically choose the right frequencies. And then you can also see it does a little Doppler control, Doppler shift control there as well. Still working on the part where it will actually go to, you know, control a SDR or a radio that's connected. You know, I'm planning to do it for the ICOM 9700, and yeah, it's coming along nicely. And then the other thing I've done is it got a bit out of hand having too much satellites on the screen, so I've now got collections. So this is the default collection, and then I can choose the weather collection, for example, and now it will show all the weather satellites. And then even for them, if I go onto the radio control side, it will show the various transponders available there. There's the HRPT, and we've got the APT, the side L band, and then then it will control everything. Everything, as you can see, I split it up in 2 screens because I was running out of space. But it makes more sense this way, because you'll select your satellite on that side, and then once you've selected which one you want to play with, then you just go to the tracker side, and then you can, you know, control the rotator, control the radar, etc. So yeah, that's been most of the stuff that I've been busy with on this side. I hope everybody else is doing well. Gary, thanks for doing the net control there again. And Benno and Frank, good to see you guys as well. And looking forward, nice big list on the net today. So looking forward to see how that goes. I've also, you'll notice the audio is a bit better. Jeez, that headset really leaves marks on my face. You'll notice the audio is a bit better, hopefully. I've got a new microphone as well, so no need to deal with pesky headset and that. Okay, well, that's all from me. Hopefully that wasn't too long. And next on the list, we've got Ed. Ed, over to you. Papa Yankee 2 Romeo November. This is Zulu Romeo.
Oh wow, how cool is that? Lots of surprises today on the net. Yeah, first Benno with Frank in the shack. Zulu 06 Golf Echo, I believe. Hello Frank, hello Benno. Hi Gary, excellent transmission as always. Glad to see Benno together with Frank. And Frank will testimony if Benno is a real person or it's an avatar like Tom just showed us. Fantastic, Tom. Very, very funny. Love it. Yeah, it looks like you, except for the hair, I would say. Very nice. Very, very, very interesting. Yeah. DATV has this big advantage that allow all the ham radio operators show the creativity as well. Very, very nice, very interesting. All right, nice piece of software that you're developing there also, Tom. Very nice, and your audio is fantastic. I'm not sure which type of microphone you're using, but it's doing fantastic. Very nice quality audio. All right, guys. I got a little clip from our friend William, Papa Yankee 2 Golf November. He used to be active on the narrowband SSB. He's still not active here on the ATV. He has those cameras. He make parts of meteor monitoring group there is here in Brazil. So they keep their cameras, you know, pointing to the sky, just to capture all the meteors that come into our atmosphere. And he just captured a good clip from the last Falcon 9 mission that happened, I think, 2 days ago. They took about 53 Starlink satellites to put on LEO, on low elevation orbit, and no, sorry, low Earth orbit, not elevation. And he made very nice pictures. I just put here, so I'm gonna show you those clips that was captured from his backyard. He lives near to me here, about 200 kilometers northwest, and that was great. Let's show you. Yeah, and that's it. They recovered another rocket successfully. That's it from my part. I just would like to say hello to my next one, which is Bert, Martin, Leon, Balu, Nick, Henry, Saro. Hey, Saro, gonna be on. So be glad to see you all. Thank you, everybody. 73 Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. Sorry. Let me pass to Bert, Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta. Get ready, Bert. It's with you.
No, but yeah, okay, picture. Good evening, morning, or afternoon, everybody on the net here today on Sunday. Yeah, it was clearly to see the Falcon 9 rocket. That was perfect, Ed. Very clear to see. I could not see if it is a Falcon 9 or another one, but yeah, you could see it come from the south. And then going down and under to the north, somewhere to Cape Canaveral, and there landing on the platform. It's still amazing that they can do that way, just the way it started, also landing. It's great to see that. And yeah, about Tom, I thought it was his twin brother. Like Ed said, it looks like maybe that hair is some different, but yeah, for the rest, yeah, it's a twin brother. So in the future, there's always a question: is it the real Tom or the avatar Tom? Now, yeah, we'll see what happens over there. But that's a great way of making software. You can see, Tom, you are an expert in that kind of software. I'm stuck by some assembly and Python, but yeah, you cannot compare that to that your work. But it looks very nice and great to see that. Yeah, what was I doing over here? Oh yeah, last week Mike C0MJW gave me a link in the chat about a Polycom Eagle Eye camera. There should be 8 available. I checked it during the net. Indeed, 8 available. After that, I want to play, or to put an order in it, and all 8 were gone, just after the net. So there are probably more people watching the net than joining the net. But anyway, there must be now a lot of cameras around then. So probably there will be more operators than coming on the net the coming days or the coming weeks with the eagle eye camera. Anyway, I missed my opportunity. Oh wait, we'll see maybe later on see another one. Yeah, I played a little bit with some other thing. Let's put it on. I switched it off, but let's be on. Let's see what's happening over here. Yeah, let's switch to the other camera. Let's see. This one. What you can see here over here is yeah, the microscope, or the electronic microscope, or whatever you want to call it. It's working fine. This is the 8-way RF switch from the BATC. Just assembled a couple of ICs. You can see that's soldered. That's looking fine. It works. But yeah, it's always difficult. These 3 parts anyway are on the board. Yeah, the most complex one, of course, is this little boy with a lot of legs and difficult to solder. But anyway, all the legs are soldered to the pads and no shorts. So hopefully it will work. Now the rest of the components, some capacitors and resistors, it's not so much, but anyway. A question then for some people. I thought Martin FKK has also the same kind of microscope camera. I can put that on the PC. I can use the camera app from Windows 10. I can make a perfect picture, no problem at all. But how to integrate it in OBS? Maybe Martin knows it, or someone else knows how this works. That's a nice microscope. It's not a stereo one. Stereo is of course a little bit better. You see some depth. And it's now sometimes difficult when you have a soldering iron from, yeah, where is it then? Where is the point? That's you're moving a little bit and then you're centimeters away. Yeah? You have to learn how to solder on a microscope anyway. Yeah, that's all from this side. That's all I've done this week, so not too much. Microphone. Oh, let's see the other camera. That's that way. That's me. Maybe the other picture is better than this, mine, but anyway. And system to you, Martin. G4FKK, the group from PA3AOD.
Yeah, fine, Bert. PA3AOD. G4FKK returning. Bear with. I was sitting here getting ready, as it were, and I suddenly realised I hadn't fired up the OBS virtual camera or F1EJP. So let me just adjust something here. Come on, you can do it. Perhaps you can't. That'll have to do. I seem to be running less power than hitherto. Anyway, not to worry. Anyway, very good morning, evening, afternoon to everybody on the net. Looks like it's going to be a big one, so I'll try and keep it fairly short. But great to see Frank in Benno's shack there. I was thinking, that looks like Frank. And then he sounds like Frank, but he was Frank, because I just missed the beginning because I was late coming out of lunch, of course. So great to see you both there. Yeah, it's fairly chilly here as well, Benno. I think it's about 12 degrees or something, or 13, which even I think is a little bit cool. I know Tom and Frank and Gary and Leon seem to think 18 is too cold. I know Henry thinks 18 is too cold, but 18 is quite pleasant here. And yeah, Tom, I love the VR. That was excellent. And your audio is absolutely cracking. It's superb audio now. I was watching you and the chaps discussing it yesterday, and I couldn't hear all this switching business, etc. So, and I think Gary discovered that if the mini tuner, if you're not exactly on frequency, you can get some strange after effects on mini tuner, which is interesting, isn't it? I thought you must have an audio gate or something, a noise gate going, Gary, in your shack, but obviously not. So that was good. And I love the audio, by the way, Tom, because it's really nice quality. And I don't mind the Atmos. You can hear the shack, you know, the fans and things running. But it just reminds me of my very early days of being a shortwave listener, listening to all the old codgers who were probably a lot younger than I am now, droning away on top band AM. And you could always hear the sound of the shack with a nicely fully modulated AM signal. So it reminds me of that. So that's good. And the looks like you've done some great work on your satellite software as well. Ed, love the video. That's superb. Of course, if that happened over here, it would, of course, be overcast when the satellite was coming back down, so we wouldn't have seen it. But that was a great picture from your friend there. And Bert, yeah, I think I know where a few of those Polycom mini cameras went. And I'm sure they're all going to go ultimately to good homes, but someone else might like to tell you about that. The microscope, Bert, let me just see if I've got it, logged on. Yes. That shows up. Can I show that? Let me have a look. Screen one. I might be able to show how that shows up on my OBS at any rate. So I called it Tiny Cam properties. Well, let me if I add a source, video capture device. It shows up as USB camera. Let me just do that. I'll cancel this in the end. Yeah, so in here, I don't know if you can see all this, Bert, hopefully. Yeah, that's the one, USB camera. That's what it shows up on my OBS. If you can see it on the USB, then I would guess you probably can see it. What am I doing now? I've got lost. Here we go. It should show up probably as USB camera. Mine did anyway, and it did on my other computer when I put it on that one. Out of interest, that watch on the microscope, by the way, I don't know if I showed this. Did I show this last week? But I obtained via the internet a Chinese clone. It's not coming. It's not focusing very well. Chinese clone of a Swiss pocket watch movement, and then also on eBay, I got a case to put it in, and some hands and things, and a dial. So I've made it's a ridiculously huge wrist. I've only got small wrists, but that's a real Swiss watch, and that's the size of the pocket watch in the Chinese pocket watch in a case. But I bought that movement because it's quite a big one, being a pocket watch movement, really. Come on, focus. It's not going to do it, is it? Come on. Oh well. But compared to most watch movements, the parts in it are enormous. So it's good to practice your horological lack of skills on, as I've found. Right. I think that's it for me. Leon, it's you next, so get ready on your push to talk. Be nice to see you, and Balu, Nick, Henry, and Saro as well. I didn't realise you were going to be on, Saro. Otherwise, I'd have worn the tie. Obviously, bit of respect for the governor. Right round to you, Leon. ZS1 Mike. I'm trying to find a Where's my test card gone? Oh, there it is. ZS1 Mike, round to you, Leon, Golf 4 Fox Kilo, and the group standing by.
Okay, good day to everybody on the net today, and yeah, a nice big net today, very nice. Hello to everybody, and okay, today I have just a little short talk on or about an old satellite. I still had some tapes here that we got when I was still working. And on one of the clips I saw that I took these videos in 2001. Now this is a satellite that was built, let me go to the other camera, there we are. This satellite was built by the University of Berlin, Technische Universiteit van Berlijn, under the auspices of Professor Dr. Udo Renner. Very nice old gentleman. He actually came out to us to visit us at our test range in South Africa. They launched this thing. I think it's about 500, half a meter cube, half a meter by half a meter by half a meter, somewhere around there. They built this thing. This is their second one, and it was launched, I think, if I remember correctly, from a Russian submarine, but I stand to be corrected. Anyway, it worked very well, and they could work it from Berlin, but they also wanted a tracking station in the southern hemisphere, so they asked us if we would like to play with it. So we said yes, okay. We can't guarantee the hours, but whenever we have a chance, not working, we'll track it and so on. So they sent us the encoding equipment and a 2-meter radio as well. Oh, come on, camera, don't go to your demo mode. And so it had 3 antennas. If you look here, that is a 70 centimeter quarter wave antenna. That is a 2-meter quarter wave antenna. And that is a S-band, a 2.2 gig helix. And it had on that side, and on that side, and on that side, and at the back, 4 solar panels. And it had enormous inertia wheels inside. And then, of course, most important, it had 3 cameras. A wide angle one, a medium angle one, and a telephoto one. There's the 3 windows for the 3 cameras. And you could control this thing. We used the 2-meter option. We didn't bother with the 70 centimeters because it was the same. So we used, we could, when it's low Earth orbit and it was just tumbling, and then when it's over the horizon, you could call it, everything on the keyboard, no mouse action. We had a whole list of commands, and you could call it, and it would answer back, okay, it's hearing you. And I think it was basically AX25. It sounded like AX25. And then you could start to control it. You could, by varying the speeds of these inertia wheels in all axes, you could actually make the thing stand still above you, or it looked like it, you know, as the thing, let me get to the other camera, switch off that one. As the thing is going around the Earth, you could actually point it onto a specific, so that as it comes, you could tilt it, which made the ground stand still underneath it. So we took nice pictures of Cape Town Harbour. You could see the ships in the harbour and the harbour walls and so on. And also of our test range, from space you could actually see the bombing range, where the aircraft would come in and aim and drop their bombs and things like that. So yeah, various things you could see. And the video came down on S-band on 2.220 gigs. Wideband analog FM video. There was no digital video in those days. Everything was still analog. Oh my, well, those were the good old days. It was 40 megs wide, the video channel, the RF width, and this I think the wide angle camera, I think, was color. I can't remember. We were only interested in the telephoto one to get the best ground detail. So yeah, unfortunately the little bits, the clips that I've got are not very good. They've been copied and recopied and transposed from DVD to VHS tapes, and then back from VHS tapes back to DVD, and then I had to do all that stuff to get it into OBS, because OBS won't accept straight DVD files. You have to convert it to MPEG-4 first. Anyway, so what you'll see is very poor. You almost need to use your imagination, but you will be able to see. There, you can see it's a satellite moving, and it's looking at the clouds. Because we were at the coast, there's lots of clouds always. But we did have some occasional days where we could get good detail, ground detail, and then we would, guide it, tilt it towards Cape Town, and wait for it to really be like above Cape Town, and keep it stationary on Cape Town, on the harbour, and so on. So this was great fun, and we did it for, I think, more than a year. And we would, in the beginning, we would mail them the VHS cassettes. And in the end, technology improved, and there was some cloud or thing that we could send stuff up to them. There's another clip there. You can see some dams and stuff, but it's heavily overexposed. Not the satellite. It's in all the transcriptions that a lot of detail got lost. But those are farmlands with dams and all sorts of things passing. There's a river. What else do we have? More dams. Now and then you'll see a road. You can see the straight lines and the angles and so on. And I think on one of the clips you can see when it reached the coast. We always waited for the coast because we were right on the coast, and then stop it, and then just tilt it back slightly to get the pictures of the test range. But unfortunately, there's a river again. Unfortunately, these are not the best clips that I've got. There's lots and lots of tapes at work. Still all on VHS. Standard definition. So yeah, it's not so good. But this was great. I don't know whether the satellite is still alive. They did build another one for Morocco. They called it Morocco TUBSAT, which apparently was far more advanced. I did get the specifications of it, and the sync words and things, but that's at work, and I don't know whether it's reaching the coast now. But anyway, okay, there's another one. There was the date, and that's the time. Just for a flash, I had the date on there. So 26th of the 7th month, 2001. There you can see some roads and things. But yeah, this thing, the timing is not even right. You can see the 1 second is not advancing at 1 second. It's advancing at a fraction of a second. So it's not good at all. Something got demarcated with the DVD player, I think. But anyway, enough of that. Right, okay, so that is TUBSAT. They had this was the second one. Their first one was just like a little transponder thing or a beacon, and they just picked a thumbsuck the frequency, and it turned out to be, I think, the New York Police Department's mobile frequency. So they they eventually had to switch it off, because whenever it passed over New York, it would make interference on their mobile RTs. So in the end, they switched it off. But this one, they made sure, okay, they've got amateur frequencies for the up and down link, and the video, that's not an amateur frequency. 2.22 gigs is actually a licensed space frequency, where we do all our work at work. Is 2.2 to 2.3. That section is for serious space work and satellite communications. But anyway, so that was Professor Dr. Udo Renner, and his sidekick was Matthias Bull. He was an engineer, Matthias Bull. I've got their phone numbers and addresses. I'm pretty sure that Professor Renner must be retired by now, because this is, yeah, it's 21 years ago. So I don't think he'll be. He was quite mature when he visited us. You know, he was deep in his age then. So yeah, I don't know if he's definitely not working anymore. It can't be if he's still alive. But a real gentleman. Okay, that's all from me. I'll stand by for another round. Then I'll comment on all the other people's things once everybody's been on. I must give it to, I'm not sure, I think I give it to Balu, yes. Victor Uniform 2, Romeo Tango Foxtrot for the group from ZS1 Mike.
Good morning, good afternoon and good evening, friends. Nice to catch up with you all in this DATV Net today. Good morning, Ed, Gary, Benno, Frank, Tom, Bert, Martin, Leon, and Nick, Henry, and Saro. Very good evening, Benno, with your friend Frank, and Zulu Radio 6 Tango Golf. Tom, it is very interesting, your virtual ham radio experiments. Really, it is a superb thing, and very nice to see that. And Ed, the Metadata monitoring station clippings was really nice, and also covered the clippings of the satellite also. Bert and Martin regarding the microscope camera, showing very tiny pictures about the PCB and also your watch. Nice to catch up with you. Leon, thank you for sharing your old memories, recording of the satellite monitoring and recording the satellite images of TUBSAT. Very interesting. And here the WX here, it is a warm evening, about 28° Charlie actually. So this week I have just assembled the antenna connect disconnect switch, which I make a small video. It is working nice. I will show you that now. This is my stock actually.
Thank you very much, and my best of 73.
It is going on HF net. The government is going on there. Where the express is taking it. And this is my audio processor. And this is the disconnect radio, this antenna connect disconnect unit which I have made for me to easily disconnect all the antennas when I am leaving this jack. So it has come out well, and it is also working well. See, the antenna is coming out and disconnecting, and again connecting now. I have got 4 antennas actually. So that is the unit what I have made and installed in my sack. It is working fine. That's all from here. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity. 7-3 is to all of you. I will wait for the next round. Now I will pass it to Golf 4 India Mike Oscar. This is V2 Romeo Tango Foxtrot. Take it up, Nick. One, two. I got audio. Yes, good. Yes, okay. Good afternoon to everybody. Where's my camera? There we are. Yes, yes. Very good afternoon to everybody on the net this afternoon. There's a lot of people on there, which is very good. I did make a few notes, but can't read my writing as usual. Yes, Tom, the virtual reality, the little avatar. Wow, that is amazing. I want one of those. And that way you wouldn't see all my wrinkles, you see, if I had one of those. Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. Fantastic job there, Tom. Well done. Afternoon to Frank over there in Holland. What have I got written on here? Yeah, the video that Ed, you were sending about the Falcon 9 rocket. That was quite remarkable. But as Martin says, most of the time it's overcast here. It's very cloudy. In fact, it is today. Not very nice out there. It's my computer is telling me it's 15 degrees outside. So not very nice at the moment. But talking about satellites, I once took, was it last year? I once took a photograph of the ISS, the International Space Station. I've got a little app
on my phone, which tells you where it is in the sky. And I went out there one evening about 9 o'clock in the evening, just as the sun was going down below the horizon, and the ISS came over. It was very low elevation. Came over at probably about 10 degrees. Just came over the tops of the roofs of the houses, and I quickly grabbed my camera, which is a can't remember the name of it now, but anyway, it's got a 30 times zoom on it. Well, it's a 30 times analog zoom with another 30 electronic, but it doesn't work as well. But with the 30 times zoom, I managed to take a photograph just by holding the camera. It wasn't particularly sharp, but you could clearly make out that it was the ISS, because you could see that the two solar panels on either side of it, and the camera has got some video stabilization on there, so otherwise it would be impossible, zoomed in at times 30. But yeah, that was an excellent video, very good. The eagle eyes, yes, they're not on there for very long. I just had a quick look on eBay. There's one on there for $49. Another one for $39.99. There's a second-hand one for $35. But yeah, I think people have realised now, and they're putting the price up now. So but those ones that Mike was showing, £16, they were well worth it. What else was there? I think that's about it. Yeah. Martin's microscope is working well there. Excellent pictures from that, Martin. Very good. Yes, I don't know whether I would invest in one of those. I don't work on a lot of miniature stuff. I've got I'll tell you what I have got out in the workshop is a small. It was designed for people with very poor eyesight, and I picked it up at a radio rally. And it has a small little unit about the size of a mouse, which has got a little camera in it and an LED light. And if you want to read a newspaper, you just slide it across the page, and it produces large letters on a normal TV screen. And I use that for reading surface mount components, to read the values. It works very well for that. So that's very good. Anyway, I've finished my project that I was working on last time, which I'm going to try and show you. This is, he says, yeah, this is the little remote temperature sensor thing I was making last time. The unit on the left is the one that's got the ×10 amplifier in. So that takes the output from the sensor, the LM35, and amplifies it by 10. So 1 volt out is 10 degrees C, and 5 volts becomes 50 C. And the unit on the right is just housing the little voltmeter that I bought off eBay. The actual sensor is there. That is that piece of copper with a big hole in it is a tag off of a large PNP power transistor. I just got a hammer and a chisel and chiseled off the plastic transistor and just used the copper. Then I got a little bit of brass strip which I soldered on there, and which I could slide the sensor into with some heatsink compound on there to make it thermally conductive. And this last picture is the sensor attached to the heatsink, the PA. I put it on the end of the heatsink because it's actually the heatsink temperature I wanted to measure. I didn't want to measure the air that was coming off the heatsink, because on the top there, which you can't see, is a large fan. I was going to mount it on one of those fins, but it would have been affected by the fan. So I thought, well, I'll put it on the end there, and it seems to work. And if I now go to my eagle eye, you'll see the result. This is the unit in the shack. It's currently showing my temperature. 31.5 degrees C is the temperature of the heatsink. Oh, it's just gone up. It's going up 32 now as I speak. Okay, I think that's enough from me. So I think I pass it round to Henry, I think. I'll just look at my notes here. Yes, okay, so round to Henry. ZS6, Mike Charlie, G4IMO.
Okay. Thank you, Nick. And good afternoon to everybody on the net today. And it's good to see Frank there with Benno. Frank, it's great. So I hope you're having a good time traveling around Holland, Nederland. And I must say, the two of you look almost like brothers. I think you need to just check your genetics there, guys. Anyway, long story cut short, very nicely done there, Benno, and cleaning up the shack. Yeah, good luck with that. Absolutely good luck with that. And Frank, I hope you're having a good time in the Netherlands at the present moment. I'm sure you're going to bring back a lot of goodies with you. So I'm quite keen to see what you actually bring back, because it's like a little treasure chest that you open up and you see all these things in there. Tom, excellent stuff. I mean, virtual reality, I think it is definitely the way it's going to go. AI is going to go that way. And I think you're right there at the cutting edge right now in amateur radio technology, that's for sure. And your audio is really very good, I must say. From when I heard it the first time until now, there's a huge improvement. So well done to you, Gary, Leon. I think you three were really busy setting the whole lot up. And it sounds very, very good. Ed, from my side, that was an excellent video, just like the TUBSAT. Really good stuff. And I think, in fact, last week you guys got me going, and I started reading more and more about Elon Musk. As you know, Elon Musk is actually a born South African, but no longer, he's not a South African any longer. He actually, at the age of 18, went to Canada, and from Canada he came across to America, and then he started his business. So he's a fully fledged American, but if you listen to him talk, you can actually hear the South African in him. It's quite strange, actually, you know, this mixture of South African and American and Canadian. But a long story with regards to what he's doing is absolutely fantastic. And there's been two rocket launches in less than a week on Falcon 9. And the one was actually a manned mission for astronauts were taken up to the ISS, I think on the 26th. And and now, of course, the next one was launched on the 29th. So he's really launching rockets at the rate of dollars spent. I don't know how to say it, but it's really getting becoming quite a lot. And it's very interesting. And there's a program that you can watch about SpaceX called Return to Space, and it's hugely interesting to see what they went through to get to where they are now. I mean, they had 3 rocket launches that failed within one after each other, and only the 4th one did it become viable. So they've gone through a lot, and I think the other guys are actually scared to lose rockets. And of course, what they've done now is they've brought back the payload and brought it back onto a landing vehicle. So that's also starting to happen all over the show for them, and they're saving a lot of money by doing that. Anyway, it's enough on that. Yes, Bert and Martin both use a very nice microscope. But Martin, I'll get hold of you or Bert offline. Just like to know a bit more about that microscope that you're using. It seems phenomenal and very interesting, especially when you start working with, in my case, with SMD. I would like to be able to see what I'm doing. Right now, I'm sort of using my glasses, and I'm using one of those. I don't know what you call it. It's one with magnifying lenses in front that you put on your head, and that does help me. I can see much better, but it is sort of prevents you from getting very close to the components and doing your thing. So I think a microscope will do the trick. Right, Leon, as I said, TUBSAT, interesting stuff. Imagine that you still have the old videos. That's just amazing. I mean, keeping all that and storing it and then using it. Balu and Nick, very nice on what you guys are doing there. Balu is definitely doing some good stuff there, getting his cabling right and so on. And Nick, your temperature monitor. Yes, I've also got a temperature monitor sitting about 30 meters away from me and monitoring it, but I would like to have it closer to me. I always worry about temperature on these things. So to be quite honest, it is the biggest thing that concerns me is the temperature of my amplifier. Anyway, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to say. I noticed that the beacon dropped somewhat. It's around about a dB or 2 lower than what it normally is, and I think it's affected our signals as well. I'm not sure, but I'll leave it to the experts to explain that to me. So Gary, I know I've missed out on something somewhere that I wanted to say, but it doesn't matter, maybe on the next round. So Gary, I'm going to pass it. Oh, sorry, apologies. Saro, it's to you, my friend. I hope you're very well and everything is okay there in your part of the world. So Saru, get ready. Here we go. Victor Uniform 2, Oscar Bravo Radio. This is ZS6 Mike Charlie and the whole net.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Gary. Good afternoon, Benno, Tom. Yeah. Good morning, Ed. Good afternoon, Bert, Martin, Leon, and good evening, Balu. And good afternoon, Nick, Henry. Thank you very much for the opportunity to join with you. Still, I have not started any home brewing, just enjoying the rest at home. Unfortunately, there is the power cut frequently because of the summer started. Today we got heavy rain and no power on the beginning of the net. So I joined late after the after Ed I joined here, so I am not seeing the transmission from Gary and Benno. I am sorry for that. I'll acknowledge the transmission later on the second round. So just I made one small home brewing of analog ampere meter for my amplifier. Just I started to something. Slowly I'm going to do some work on the workbench, so I started. Just I saw the picture. There is the difference between digital voltage and ampere meter and the analog meter. I thought I measured the analog meter is the perfect and the digital is wrong. I'll show you the picture. Yeah, this one. Yeah, yes. So this SMPS I made it to 13.5 volt SMPS inside. That is the HP. server SMPS. Inside two SMPS. Next week I will show you the picture inside the power supply. So two SMPS I made series and using for the 27 volt. Here the cable loss again, it is showing in the unlock meter showing 25.4 volt. Right now the ampere consuming around 15 ampere with my amplifier with the Pluto 0 dBm now, because of the 25 meter of half an inch helix cable I am using now with the 120 centimeter dish. So that's why I am pushing lot of power because of the cable loss. The difference between the ampere and voltage cable loss of the DC volt. So that is the test I done. So I have to make carefully again to make the all short cables, I think. So this slowly I started my home brewing again. I'll try to give it more. So thank you very much, my friends. Thanks for joining the net. Please go ahead, Gary, start your transmission. I'll be standby.
Okay, Saro. Nice to see you again. And yeah, if you look on the left hand side, you'll see the way I measure it. I've got the temperature, and the amperage at the moment is 6 amps that I'm running, and it's working. But yeah, we just want to say thank you to all the guys that have contributed. And Benno, it's very nice to see Frank there by you. And I'm wondering, Frank, seeing that you are going around, if you don't visit Tom to see if that avatar is actually Tom, to see if he's there. You might just have to do that. But very nice, and I hope you guys are enjoying the holiday in Europe. It's very nice indeed for you to come up and take the time to visit Benno, and to also come on frequency. That was a lovely surprise indeed. Another nice surprise we've got Simon Brown, G4ELI, the chap that wrote the software for SDR console. He's watching. He sent a little message on YouTube. Hi to you, Simon. Lovely to have you on board, and welcome. Right, Tom, yeah, that was an excellent transmission, and your audio is now perfect. And yeah, I did nothing, and neither did Leon. Tom popped out this morning and bought a decent USB microphone, a little condenser mic, and it really sounds the bee's knees, Tom. So it's great. That's wonderful. Right, Ed, that was a stunning piece of video, that, especially from the two angles, and well done. What was it? Papa Yankee 2 Golf November, I think you said. So hats off to him for a very, very nice video there, and to you for compiling it with nice music, professionally done as usual there, Tom. Ed, I mean. Bert, nice to see you. And unfortunately, I pipped you to the post. When I got on, there were 8 of them available, so I bought 6. Why? Because they, by the way, they're all at my daughter's house. They arrived on, I think, on Thursday afternoon. But anyway, I bought a number of them so that I could help the local guys, each with one, just to play around with. I did see Nick did a nice demo on his one. The clarity is not all that great, but it's fine for close-up playing around with. So it'll be a nice little thing to have in the shack if you want to just quickly view something close by. But anyway, I'm sure you'll get more. They often come on the market there. But sorry, I saw there was 8, and I thought, should I take all 8? I thought, no, that's unfair. I'll leave some behind, but I was thinking of giving one to Leon and to Frank and all the guys from the ZS side that comes on the DATV net. So I thought, well, let each one get one and we can play around with it. So, and I must thank Nick for giving me a good demo the other day. These things are quite nice, really, and 16 pounds is for nothing. Right, Martin, yeah, very good on your transmission as usual, and I love to see those clock movements in the microscope there. Really good. I got my microscope connected as well the other day. I've got the cable in, and it works very well. It's a stereo microscope, but of course through only one CCD unit, so that doesn't show it to you in stereo as such. But yeah, it works very nicely, focused in, and that was that, you know. I've got nothing to show. You've got a few watches or clocks or whatever you want to call them, wristwatches. So there's some movement that makes it interesting. Nick, yeah, good on you, and nice to see your unit working now with the current and so forth, temperature I mean. All good, so now you know where you are. Yeah, my one, I just did it very easily. I put a camera onto it, something similar to what our dear friend Henry's doing. So you can see the temperature of my amplifier, 19.8 degree, only reason it's water cooled. And then the amperage running at 6 amps at the moment, so all cool. It's the same amp that Sorrow's using, exactly the same amp. So Sorrow, you're really cooking that thing at 15 amps, by gums. I wonder what you can take it up to. I think you're very close to the limit before you start smelling an expensive smell, I'm sure. Anyway, but all good. Right, and then of course, Henry, nice to see you on as usual. Your audio is also good since you got that little mic. So nothing to complain about there, indeed. And then coming back to Sorrow, it was wonderful seeing you again, Sorrow, and I'm pleased you're feeling a bit better. Right, with that, I'll pass it one more round. Let me just check. It's already 4:10, and I know, let me just see, many people run off at about this time. I need to run as well. So I'll just throw it once through the circuit again. So Benno, to you, if you don't mind. Papa Alpha 3 Foxtrot Bravo X-ray from Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India.
So, take it, Frank.
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, Benno has given me a cup of coffee, and I'm eating all his biscuits. Speculas, I don't know if you know them, I can recommend them. You also get them with almonds on the back. It's one of my favorites, so you won't have many left.
So, well, while Frank is eating, my cookie jar empty. Just a quick comments. Great net today. Lots and lots of station. The net is getting better every week when I'm not here. So I shoot more. Well, Leon, thanks for the nice video, and Ed as well. Great videos. I love that that part. For monitoring, I believe Tom is doing a great job on that, which we now really should start, because everyone is searching for a solution, and I think Tom has found a great solution, which we should implement into Dominic's nice DATV Easy. We already discussed a little bit here the possibilities, and I believe it will be great to implement that during this the next few weeks. What else to comment on? A great impression, a great video from Balu. I was quite impressed about his way of when he leaves. He should automate it whenever he turns off the light nut on his switch on his shack. He should the whole system should unplug itself. So some automation would be in due, and that would be great. But for the rest, I kind of neglect my shack when I switch off, and then forget all the areas. Fortunately, lightning is not a big issue in my area, but as Frank told me, he had quite some experience already, so I can imagine the benefit of this option. Okay, what else to comment on? I believe too much was in the net to comment on. For Bert, my microscope also just plugs in and comes in as a web USB camera, so just any USB camera will come on. What I found is, because lots of those USB cameras are called the same, being a USB camera, first of all you mix up the name, but secondly some of them don't combine on one PC, so you might need to unplug everything but the microscope, and then see in OBS if you can still find any USB camera, and that will be probably your USB camera. What I also found is that you really need to switch it to the camera side, and that's not a benefit because you will lose its own display. So you have either the USB camera on your computer or on your on-top screen, on your 7-inch screen, which I have here. Besides that, it's very good for controlling. It's not good for working because I cannot find my way on my board if with the soldering iron looking at a screen different. I need to see my own fingers where I'm at on the board. Okay, well, that's all for now. Greetings, see you, hope to see you next week. Frank, any comments?
No, I will be off the air for another 5 weeks. Only then I'll be back in South Africa. So that's it.
You need some more hams in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Greetings to everybody, and I'll see you again eventually with some luck.
Okay, well, greetings from Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-Ray QRT. Bye bye.
Okay, thanks there, Papa Alpha 3 FBX and Frank ZS6YI. Good to see you guys, and Speculas, yeah, I'm jealous a while, so I need to get Frank. You must bring some back to South Africa. Although you're gonna be, sounds like you're not. It's like a long holiday, so probably won't be much Speculas left by then. But enjoy it and be safe. Yeah, like Benno said, that's another thing I forgot to show just now. You guys remember the monitoring board? Well, got enough now. From a whole bunch. There's quite a few South African hams that are interested, and yeah, I'll show you my software there. That's the node rate running over there. Nice little temperature display and the current, and even pulling in the weather there now to show a few information there. It's not from real life sensors, but rather from a weather service. Just to, everybody keeps on asking me what's the weather, and I just say cold. But yeah, we're not so chilly, but not South African hot, 20 degrees at the moment. So it'll do, but the winter is definitely on its way. Some notes from my side. Well, firstly, the VR. What you guys saw there was a VR meeting app. It's not. I haven't done much development there yet. Just to clarify that. So that's just more of a test to see how I would link it all up to OBS and do that. So hopefully next time I'll be able to show a bit more custom stuff there. Yeah. So interesting stuff. We'll see where it goes. Okay, couple of notes here. Gary, if you're still there, thanks for running the net, and stay well there on your side. Ed, yeah, the microphone it's a cheapie. It's one of these Dixon USB condenser microphones. Nothing fancy. I don't really know enough about microphones to really go buy something very expensive. We were experimenting yesterday with one of these, which is a little Rhodes microphone, but yeah, it's not working too well. Funny noises there. We tried to troubleshoot it a bit yesterday, but we weren't really successful there. So yeah, just figured I'll get this USB one. And also the other one attaches to my shirt, and I keep on forgetting about it, and then I stand up and I'm just gonna start yanking cables off. So it works better that way, like so. Yeah, good to see you there. Yeah, I just wanted to clarify the development there. Martin, yeah, well, 18 degrees is chilly, isn't it? It's like I say, it's 20 now, but 18 degrees is pretty chilly. And I always love the microphone. The microscope, sorry, of the watch. Nice there. Right, that watch is huge on your wrist next to the small one. It looks very big. Thanks for the video. Very interesting, very inspiring. Given but yeah, it's nice to see what you've always been involved with. Balu, first off, your shack very nice. It's the first time I've seen that behind the scenes there on your side, and it looks very nice. Well, nice and clean and organized. And that antenna connect and disconnect system you've got going there is awesome. I definitely need to look into Mick, well, Nick, nice to see you. I see that if you in a future session you should maybe share that. I've been keen to try that as well, especially with the maybe put a camera on there and see if I can do something similar. And yeah, your temperature project is coming along very nicely. Well done there, Henry. Yeah, it's been interesting watching Elon Musk's and the Falcons. They apparently they're going to launch like 53 rockets this year alone, which is pretty much a rocket a week. And yeah, they make it look so easy, especially with the landings. It's definitely come a long way. And Asado, definitely good to see you. Nice to see you amp there. Yeah, you're running quite a bit of amps there. I think I'm only running about 7 amps on mine at the moment. But yeah, nice and clean setup there. Hopefully I don't forget. Oh, Ed, that Falcon 9 reentry video was awesome. Loved it. Yeah, maybe on another net, no, maybe not today, but on another net, if you can share some more information on the meteor observation. I think you said that's actually pointing the cameras up. We're keen to know a bit more about that as well. But that was a very cool video. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, I think I've got everybody there. If I did miss somebody, I do apologize. And yeah, hope everybody has a lovely week. And it was a great net today. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And we'll definitely see each other all again next week, if not in between. Okay, I'm gonna hand it over there to Bert then. Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta. Oh no, sorry, apologies. Sorry. I need to hand it over to Ed. Papa Yankee 2 Romeo November. Here from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf. Bye bye everybody.
Yeah, Yeah, absolutely agree, Tom and Gary. Excellent net today. Very interesting topics. Yeah, it's kind of late, so gonna be quick here to comment. Gary, thank you again for the net, controlling the net and streaming to YouTube. Great work. Our friend Benno and Frank. Nice to see you, Benno. Thanks again for the files. I still didn't have time to play with it, but hopefully during this week I'm gonna find some slots so I can play with those. I'll let you know. Frank, enjoy your stay there in Europe. Nice to see you, and hope, yeah, as Benno said, I hope you can find another shack to join the DATV net for the following weeks. Tom, fantastic, your microphone there, very good quality. It's great. Yeah, I do use headphones always. I keep these, so that's the reason but maybe I'm gonna find on of those microphones you just showed there. And regarding the Meteor monitoring network, yeah, it's kudos to William, Papa Yankee 2 Golf November. He's very dedicated to it. I mean, not only him, but a group of people here. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna ask him to, to present something. I know that he uses a special software. The cameras are pretty much regular cameras, surveillance cameras, but they do use some Japanese software, something like that. It's focused on capturing those meteors and things coming into the atmosphere. So it's very interesting. Bert, nice to see you. Your microscope working fine. And Martin, another great work with the pocket, not pocket, but your wrist watch. Very nice, beautiful. Another good work you're performing there. Leon, fantastic. You wrote TUBSAT. I don't know if it's TUBSAT or TAPSAT, but anyways, very interesting. Thank you for another great space presentation, Leon. Very interesting. Although the images are not very high quality, but it's still fascinating to see. The image is coming from space, and it's very nice, very interesting. Thank you for that. Balu, fantastic your switch. I mean, it's very important to me also. I suffer with lightning strikes all the time here, and that is very useful, very interesting the way you assemble it, and very useful. Yeah, automation will be a plus, mainly for remote stations. Nowadays, mainly HF remote stations are becoming very popular, and this type of device to disconnect cables, I would say, is a must. So it's very interesting. Nick, the remote temperature is also very useful. I do use a system here, but it's a very rudimentary. I mean, it's just give me a rough idea about the temperature, nothing precise. Harry, great images. I like your camera. You have two cameras now. One showing your in front of you, and the other one showing, besides you. Very nice setup. And Saru, QSL, about the difference between analog and the digitals. Yeah, never trusted on those digital meters. I do use them because it's easy. But it's like my temperature sensor. It gives you a rough idea what's going on, but never precise like the analog meter. I agree with that. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I wish you a great upcoming week. Say hello to everybody that is watching us through the YouTube or any other means, and appreciate taking part on the net today as well. Bert, sending to you, Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta. Greetings from Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. Bye-bye.
Yes, and there's a picture. Okay, yeah, I'll make it quick then. It's already 4:30, so 1.5 hours already net. Yeah, I know anyway where the cameras are all now. If they're in good hands, okay, that's no problem then. I got some couple of cameras, so it's not necessary to have one for me, but it was nice for that price to play with it. But anyway, there will be more in the future, and maybe better ones. Who knows? Yeah, if you want to know something more about the microscope, Henry, yeah, you can always contact me, and probably also Martin. That is all. And yeah, that was a good idea from you, Benno, about disconnecting everything. And I will, after that, I will reboot my computer, switch off all the USB cameras, and just switch on the microscope. Yeah, that was one of the issues. I can see there's a camera, but it's only black one. It's only black picture, and nothing is showing up. So I will give that a try. That was a good idea for you, Benno. Everybody have a nice week. See you probably next week. And till then, make friends on the shortwave or on the QO-100. 73s to all. From
Yeah, fine, Bert. PA3AOD. I'm just checking I'm actually next on the list. I think I am. Jolly good. And yeah, really interesting net again. I'll just whiz through some notes. Leon, thank goodness you took all those videos, because you're obviously good at archiving them. And I guess you could use one of those sort of easy capture devices that you put component video in and get USB out or something for getting things off the VHS tapes. And yeah, the video was absolutely superb. I loved it. Oh, they knew how to do things in those days. And Balu, I love the aerial switch as well. I didn't realise it actually mechanically moved in and out. That's marvellous. And quite interested in the connector you use to mate up with the SO239 connectors there. Very ingenious. Nick, well, it is a bit chilly here. I'll give Tom that. But I say 15 is not as... 18's just nice. 15 is a bit chilly. But your T-shirt warmed everyone up, Nick. And like Tom's saying, I'd like to see the ISS photo. And well done on the remote temperature sensing. Henry, good to see you too. I hadn't realised that Elon Musk was originally from South Africa. I haven't done a lot of research on him. But I did... He's got an odd accent, so I'll have a closer listen next time I hear him speak. Oh yeah, I use one of these, Henry. You look absolutely well. I look absolutely ridiculous in it, but it really does help. And I just use the microscope to check, what needs cleaning and what doesn't really. It's quite difficult to work on things without the stereo microscope. I have got better at it. I'm quite good at soldering surface mount components now, but it would be easier with a stereo microscope. What was the other thing? Oh, Saro. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you have started your home construction again. Looked very good, and sorry about the rain and the power cuts, etc. And glad you're getting better every week. Gary, interesting to know that Simon is or was watching. Simon won't remember this, but I used to talk to him a lot on Top Band, but it was a very long time ago. Simon he was in the Isle of Man in those days, GD4 ELI, and it was a great treat. I only had about 10 watts of AM, and it was always a great treat because he had some good aerials up there. And Simon, if you are watching, you should start writing some of your brilliant software for this TV stuff. It'd be fascinating to see what you come up with for that. And yeah, well, I knew you'd bought the 6 of the Polycoms, Gary, but I didn't know if you wanted that widely broadcast. But as I say, I knew they were going to go to good homes. Bert, I have got 2 of those Polycom minis. It wasn't who was looking. Yeah, it was Bert looking for one. So if all else fails, I could send you one of mine. I had got a plan for having 2, but it'll never happen, basically. So if you get desperate, let me know. And Frank, we'll have a great trip, and we'll look forward to seeing you in 5 weeks' time. Tom, the PC ball, yeah, it's always good to get a good slack handful of printed circuit boards from JLC. And I've mentioned 18 degrees. 20 degrees is beautiful, balmy, lovely. 28 degrees with Balu was a bit too hot. Not that I'm fussy. And Ed, I agree with you. If you're adjusting something, you can't really beat an analog meter, can you? I was just going to show you a quick thing I've learnt doing the watches, which is going to be useful for you surface mount people like I do as well. So if I switch to the microbe scope, oh, before I do that, I'll just show you. This is a very fine pair of tweezers, a number 5. It's not the finest you can get, but nearly. And under the microscope, they do look like this. They're carefully sharpened and the rest of it. But when you're picking up your surface mount components, and particularly tiny screws from watches, very gentle, just a minimum pressure, because if you watch carefully, if I squeeze hard, and it's tempting to do that because you want to make sure you don't drop them, but if you squeeze hard, watch what happens to the end. It becomes a catapult, and you'll put your component into your own country's space program. It'll just fly out. So there you are, a top tip from the horological discoveries I've been making. Right, that's enough from me. Gary, thanks ever so much for running the net, and everyone for coming up. And it's been very interesting. Look forward to next week. So I'll say cheerio to everyone. It's round to you next, Leon, and say thank you for keeping all those brilliant videos and showing them to us. It's a real treat. ZS1, Mike, G4 Fox, King. Cheers all.
Okay, G4FKK in the group. This is ZS1 Mike now also for a final, because I have a visitor here and I have to attend to him. Bert and Benno, he's also in the model aircraft industry, and he has a problem and I have to quickly help him. I just want to say one thing, gentlemen. Saru, you and Balu have a job. I don't know if you guys realize, but India have also gone to the moon. Many years ago, it was a doctor, somebody of India came to visit us at the test range, and he told us all about their lunar program and how they went to the moon. And they didn't land there, but they went around it a couple of times, and they did pretty well, and they did everything on their own. Nobody wanted to help them. So very, very well done there. I wonder how their space program is doing nowadays. So Saru, you and Balu can find that out for us, and maybe tell us, have they gone to the moon again yet, or what are they doing lately? But that was very, very interesting. It was a very nice old gentleman who actually visited us at the test range down at Arniston at the southern tip of Africa, and told us about their lunar project. And I think he said it only took them, it was either a year or 2 years from they started with the whole business until they actually got there. It didn't take them very long. Very sharp people, that. So, okay, gentlemen, it was very interesting. I cannot comment on everybody's things now. I haven't got the time, but I just didn't want to disappear. So cheers from me, and see you next time. from ZS1 Mike, and I must give it to, oh, my book is so dear my car now. Yeah, I give it to Balu. Balu, you sort out the lunar mission for us.
Thank you, Leon. Zulu Sierra 1 Mike is VU2RTF. I think it is Mailsami Annadurai. He was the man on the moon mission. We will like to get some more details and let you know. And thank you very much. And I have to tell Nick, your temperature sensor for amplifier, you have done it and it just looked nice. Henry, your audio and video quality was very nice. Your mic audio is superb. And Saro, nice come back after a gap, and hope we will have many more new projects in the future. So with this, I thank everyone for giving the opportunity. 7-3 is all round. Have a very nice evening and see you again next week. So, and I will pass the mic to Golf 4 India Mike Ask.
Okay. I've got audio. Yes, okay. Right. I'm going to make this my last transmission. But Tom, if you're still there, I found that photograph on my computer of the ISS, which I took with my camera. Here we go. There we go. That is the ISS that flew over the town of Wisbeach in Cambridgeshire. You can see it's a very low elevation because it's just at the height of the houses. But you can clearly see the two lights there on either side, which are obviously the solar panels. But, yeah, as I say, all I did was I quickly went outside because I had this app on my phone, and I thought, oh, it's coming over, I'll have a look. And I went outside and saw it and quickly grabbed my camera and took a picture. But as I say, the camera was only handheld, so possibly on a tripod you could get a sharper image. I don't know, but anyway, considering, what is it, 250 miles away? That's not bad, is it? Okay, that's all from me. So I'll say cheerio to everybody. It's been a very interesting net, and hopefully I shall be around next weekend. So it's time to open the wine, I think, and go and have some lunch. Okay, 73s, everybody. Round to Henry, G4IMO, round to ZS6 Mike Charlie.
Okay. Nick, thank you very much. Great stuff. And it was a really nice net. Thank you to everybody that contributed so ably today. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I just want to say good day to everybody on the net here and those watching. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I certainly would like to be part of this net, that's for sure. Missed Mike today, G0MJW. Hope he's okay. Everything's going well on his side. So there we go. It's been a very long net, and it's been very, very interesting. So thank you to everybody. I enjoyed it tremendously. So wish you 73, and we certainly will chat again on this wonderful mode of communication. Bye-bye now. Over to you, Sarah. VU2OBR, this is ZS6MC, wishing everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, friends. Thanks. Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah, Leon, the query is about the mission of Moon from India. The first project was on 2008. It's the it's unsuccessful project, and 2019 again the Chandrayaan 2. The 2008 is Chandrayaan 1 and 2002 is Chandrayaan 2. That one also the mission is unfortunately it's failed, and again our ISRO is getting ready to launch the Chandrayaan 3. It's scheduled on 23, and the next year this time the ISRO can successfully land on Moon and doing lot of things early on. That is the information. So I can share you the details by WhatsApp later on today, Leon. So there is the very long net today. So thank you, Gary. Thanks for conducting the net, and thanks Ed for the concept, and thanks to AMSA DL and BATC for the wonderful satellite. So 73 is all of you. See you on the next week. Bye bye. So this is VU2OBR. 73 is all of you. Bye bye.
Just see that I'm locked. VU2OBR, why does it? There we go. Sorry to see you bump the shoulder, and I could see the flash of pain. Yeah, not a nice thing, but I certainly hope you recover quickly. We can hear the rain in the background and somebody hammering something now and then. But yeah, all good signal, Saro. I want to thank everyone for coming on the net tonight and today, well, this morning, tonight, and this afternoon. And just a quick one on the microscope, something you guys must have played with. That's the little mini module on the mini tuner. And that's what it comes out like on the oscilloscope. Not too bad. That's the stereo scope, but of course only not stereo on the video. But you can, yeah, it's quite clear. So that's what it looks like anyway. That was nice to hook it up. There's my temperature and current. And let's go back to the main camera now. So with that, I'm going to close the net. Cheers to all those looking. ZS4 Papa Radio was also watching. He made a comment about Tom and the avatar. Tom, I'm glad you got rid of that cap. Leon feels better. Leon, excellent presentation as usual. I didn't say anything. And Balu, very nice on that mechanical way of disconnecting those cables. Very, very good idea. Yeah, totally different. So wonderful all round, chaps. Have a lovely week. We hope to see you next weekend. May it be a successful and healthy week. This is ZS6 Yankee India now signing clear, opening up the frequency to general use. 7-3 all.